Sam Grills, it's a restaurant. Still in its growth. It was established in 2020 during lockdown, the pandemic. Oof, it was tough back then. But it's been established by myself, Samkela Jobela from Scenery Park, born in Ngamakwe. Yeah, and that's I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else I can tell you, but Sam Cruise is still in its growth. Trying different cuisines like Kasi flavors and also incorporating it with restaurant flavors like American style, French style here and there. But we are more focused on Kasi flavors. The flavors are from Ikas.
Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. 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 Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza. Qhakaza.
I am CJ Audrey Nelana,
And I am Nicole Coco Fisher.
and welcome to another episode of
Qhakaza
Mntase. Whoa, whoa.
Hey,
You're like, yeah, hey. This episode is full of fun.
it's full of flavor.
Flavor, spice.
It's full of flavor.
I was going to name another brand, but unfortunately, they are not partnered with us.
You cannot.
With that said, where can they find us on all social media platforms?
All social media platforms, they can find us at Qhakaza Mntase. That is QH, guys. The Qhakaza Mntase. All social media platforms, gay.
And also TAF, TAAF on Facebook, and then TAF.EastCape on all other social media platforms. With that said, sifuna ukuthi enkosi nakwabaxhasi bethu Phanda Mzansi, Silulo Lutho Technologies, Evolve Sophistic Furnitures, Captain Joe's, X-Royal Studio, Smart Diva Accommodation, and Lucola's Palace. Thank you so much for keeping the boat afloat.
Captain, my captain.
Tumbali.
Umbali, askis.
With that said, it's too many names, guys, but we say thank you so very much, and we appreciate you guys keeping the boat afloat. Namhlanje, sihle nabani Nicole.
Oh, cookie flavor, guys.
I just smelled him when he was walking in. I was like,
Flavor.
beggar,
He is full
cheese,
of flavor.
kota,
Wrong city. Full of flavor.
spicy.
Spicing,
Spice song. With that said, we have Sam Grills in the house. Welcome to the show, Putwam.
Thank you for having me, CJ. How are you guys?
We are better. We are fulfilled.
Hey, ngisalambile, but saxoxa after the show. With that said, Puti, abantu abangamaziyo Sam Grills, cela bachazele ba who is Sam Grills? What is Sam Grills? Usukapho Sam Grills? So on and so forth.
And what can we expect from Sam Grills?
Sam Grills, it's a restaurant. Still in its growth. It was established in 2020 during lockdown, the pandemic. Oof, it was tough back then. But it's been established by myself, Samkela Jobela from Scenery Park, born in Ngamakwe. Yeah, and that's I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else I can tell you, but Sam Cruise is still in its growth. Trying different cuisines like Kasi flavors and also incorporating it with restaurant flavors like American style, French style here and there. But we are more focused on Kasi flavors. The flavors are from Ikas. Yeah.
So
Sam
Sam,
French. Oui, oui.
I was saying I am speaking French. I know French.
You know it in the food.
Jose, adios, judging?
Cha-cha.
Judging me. But anyway, where is Sam Sam Grills based? Is it in Scenery Park or?
Yeah, we're based in Scenery Park, but we are available to everyone in East London.
Mr. S. Not Mr. D's, Mr. S.
Yeah, definitely, Mr. S. Yeah, same because we do deliveries. We don't want to like deprive people of East London the flavors and the taste of Sam Grills, because we're coming with something different, and we obviously taking over East London. We're taking over Eastern Cape for that
No,
matter.
like you're literally taking over.
That's the spirit. Buddy, there's something I want to know about. How did Sam Grill come about? Of course, it was something that was in your mind, but how did we get
The
to
starting
the point
process,
that
yeah.
during lockdown? You brave, I must say.
I think it first comes with a persona. What kind of a person are you, and what do you want? How do you want to achieve it? And for me, I was introduced into hospitality, in the hospitality industry in 2017 when I started working for McDonald's. But back then it was like for a job, going in for a job. But because of the personality I'm always a student. You know, every space that I put myself in, I'm a student. And then I went on to other places being a waiter. I learned more about food. I got to understand human perspective when it comes to food, what people would expect in food, how people behave when they are hungry, how people behave when they are filled, how people behave when they eat something tasty, you know. And then from then, I just, because of the pandemic and job stability wasn't so stable, so I had to make a plan for myself for survival, you know. And then I started making Sunday dishes. I remember when I started on the 23rd of May in 2020. That's when I started. I sold about, I think it was 5 dishes for that day when I started selling. And then because of the demand, it grew. So I had to introduce new things like burgers. And from then, I stopped the dishes and then I continued with the burgers, because with the burgers, I could play with flavors, play with ingredients, you know, and it gave me a vast opportunity to explore into e-quarter, into loaded fries and other things, you know. We've got more things up our sleeves, you know, to introduce for Sam Grills.
Mna ndifuna uya the whole Sam Grills and wena, like uthetha ngento yobana you actually basa student xa uphangela kwezi ndawo or ngokubuphangela kwezi ndawo, and then wafunda, and then from ukufunda kwakho ke ngoku you able to pick up what the customer needs and what the customer wants. As a person, this whole journey, how has it affected you?
It's been a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster because it's not done yet. You learn a lot. You get to encounter a lot of things along the way, you know. And being a student, you get to sometimes, because I'm a vocal person. I'm a extrovert, you know, very hyper, you know. But during the journey, I got to learn that being an entrepreneur, you have to be observant. You can't be extrovert. You can't be loud. You can't do all of those things, you know, in order to learn, because you get to miss other things when you become that extrovertial person. Now, when you become observant, you get to learn a lot of things. Now, from the person I used to be, I've changed a lot. And you get to become lonely. You get to question yourself if this thing that you are doing is really what you want. It's not easy. It's hard. It's very hard. And every day I meet a new person, and that person teaches me a new thing. You know, every person that I meet every day becomes my mentor. They change the perspective I had the day before to a new perspective, you know, and how to interact with people. And as much as you'd find someone thinking that this is what the customers want,
Yeah.
because this is what you've learned, and someone new comes in
And just
and
changes.
just changes the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have to be flexible at that point. You have to know about, okay, what to do at that point to deal with this person and how to accommodate that person.
Sam, you are an entrepreneur in the Eastern Cape, a young entrepreneur. I'm sure that's not something that comes easy. How has being an entrepreneur from the Eastern Cape positively contributed to Sam's Grill, and how has it? There's always negatives. How has that also impacted Sam's Grills?
First of all, Eastern Cape it's very difficult to be an entrepreneur. It's very difficult. It's like, I don't know, it's like moving a mountain, because there's so many structures in place that limits a lot of people entering into the entrepreneurial journey. And if you are persistent enough, you do get to that point where you feel like you are an entrepreneur. And even at this point, I still question myself if I really am an entrepreneur or am I just a cook, But it has helped me in a way that to view more opportunities in the Eastern Cape than less opportunities, than the struggles that we get in the Eastern Cape. Having to persevere through, you get to see a lot of opportunities that, as much as there's not much of this, you can bring it yourself in the Eastern Cape. It's an opportunity for you to bring it in the Eastern Cape and become the pioneer of that thing, and you get to set up your own rules in terms of that journey that you are bringing in the Eastern Cape. And the difficulties of Eastern Cape is that there's less support in things that are unfamiliar to the people, because the people of Eastern Cape, they're very reluctant when it comes to change. It has to be something consistent and constant in their eyes for them to actually accept it and actually participate in
Work
it.
with it, yeah.
Yeah. So it becomes kind of difficult. But if you're sure of what you want, if you're sure of if this is what you're doing, you get to see it, and to not, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to look at the outside. Always look internally, like who's here, who's looking at you, who's supporting you, and that one person out of the 1,000 should be the drive for you to get to the next stage.
Mna ndifuna ubuza ne phofu the way ndikufumene ngakhona. What stood out for you to be on the show? It's the consistency on social media. It's your following on social media. It's how you post. Umta poste. He post like if many shares, over like 100 shares. Like, it's those things are so constant on your page. My first question is, how do you handle the trending part of it all, and also e-comments ozifumanayo? How do you detach yourself from them towards the negative comments? Because bayathetha and bazohlala bethetha. So how do you detach yourself?
It boils down to being that student that you are. When you are observant, you are able to talk to yourself first before you give yourself to the world. Anything that comes in, you dissect it and always look at it positively, When someone says something negative to me, comments something negatively, I don't take it negatively. I take that as a learning curve for me to say, okay, perhaps this is what I wasn't doing right. Then I need to work on it. As much as I won't respond to that, but I don't let it affect me. I don't let it affect who I am. I just find a way to learn from it, and using that platform of having people sharing your things as a way to drive this thing that you are doing, whether it's negative or positive, like media people would say. They say any publicity, even good or bad, it's good publicity. So you use that. When someone says something negative about you, it means that that person is shouting for you, for someone else to see you. Someone who wasn't seeing you. And obviously that other person who wasn't seeing you is not going to see you in the same perspective as this person is seeing you. You always use that. Use that and work with it and just persevere through that.
Sam, you've got this well-established restaurant that is Qhakaza, right? The heart of the heart. That's the best place to be, Qhakaza. My question is, do you see yourself franchising?
Definitely. That's the aim of Sam Crows. Perhaps maybe not even franchising or just expanding. Expand Sam Crows to be reachable to other castle locations. Because from the establishment, as I was learning through the entrepreneurial journey, I got to learn that it's first the person, it's first people, then the product. Not the product, then people. So for me, I got to learn how people think, and how their environments affect them in how they think. So everything that I do, every product that I introduce it with the intention to change the perspective of Umntana waseKhasa.
Sure.
Because you ask yourself, how do you sell it good elokishini? Who do you expect to buy it good elokishini? And for me, it's like, you don't have to be elokishini you don't have to be a town in order to experience things. You must see yourself as this high superiority person. NgokuseKhasa, ngokuseGhetto, ngokuseGalini. Because Sam Grills operate eGalini, but the flavors that we produce, it's exquisite, So it's that I need to change that perspective. The reason ndinxibe chef jacket is for umntana to see that I want to be a chef one day. Because if you look at the kids around Qhakaza, all of them, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, they don't know other professions. The tourism sector is vast. People making money out of that thing, and for us to say that, no, sifuna uba phaa eKhasa, I want to build a 5-star restaurant eKhasa, elokishini, so that umntana athi, when these young boys grow up, when they start dating, funeka athi, I want to go on a date Sam Grills apha elokishini. Angathathi 5 taxis to get to a proper place as I feel like a gentleman. You get me? So funeka ibone around the corner. Funeka athi naye aqonde, man, mandiziphathe kahle because kukho indawo ezinja apha elokishini yami. You get me? Even the next person ozawuvula a place, noba uthi ufuna uvula a Lukolo place, I want you to see yourself. I want to see Lukolo place azibone eScenery Park. You get me? Angathi, in order for our business to exist, we need to be out of Scenery Park. Funeka zibe khona supporting place structures ezimenza uba exist, and that starts with the mind. That starts with the perspective, how you view things. Because for me, it's like, when I view Scenery Park, I see a lot of opportunities like hotel, lodges, B&Bs, whatever. I see a lot of things, a lot of infrastructure that could build You get me? We could build a Sentin in Scenery Park. And I don't see location not there. Because we are surrounded by forestry. I mean, that's a lot of beauty. We pay lots of money to go to Zanzibar, to go to Palito, all these places as near views. But nazi views are at our backyards. You know, so everything, every product, loaded chips, I'm going to city pie and then cheese and bacon chips. It's a perspective that this is pork. La pork ibreedwa ngumama ubani pha wezenzela ipoultry yakhe pha. Nansi la pork I turned into bacon. You get me? Nansi ndiyenze yayinto enhle. The same thing ekwenza uphume apha elokishini and go to those fancy places and pay exorbitant fees to get a meal, a small meal. You can get them at the corner of your house.
I love what you said about bana bringing manditi suburbs to Ekas. Ne? Mna, I know that in I know that there's someone out there, I think onombuzo or fanana loamba. Hey bra, sfunyana Amaphara pakuti. Yabo? And ke ngoku, hey la machita ya mosha. Mosha kakhulu. Have you experienced hlambi into obana oye wa mosha kalelo? Because usekasi and you're trying to push this whole vision of having this beautiful place, this changing other people's perspective on how they see ilokishi, on how they see where they live, on how they see amageto wabo. But uyafumanisa ba kukhona ababantu ba moshayo. Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't experienced none of that. I don't think I ever will. And if I ever do, I think that would be intentional. That would have been done by someone who's not in that space of Ubupara. You get me? Because it's like who you are, man. Like, you get to learn. The journey teaches you a lot of things, man. You get to learn how to interact with people, how to treat people. You know, I know how to talk to Ipara. You know, I know I treat that person as a human being, as superior as I treat myself. You know, so how you talk to that person changes their view on what they do around. I have a lot of young boys who are starting to do drugs. I talk to them every now and then. Some of them, I want to employ them. I ask them, I want to employ you, but I can't employ you like this. So you have to make a choice if you want this or not. And some of them, I'm telling you, there's a guy now who is almost a month sober because he wants to work with us. You know, so it's like how you view things mostly. Amaphara, what you can't just say ipara maliye kuchaya, eat drugs, and then that's it. You must take something out and put something in its place. You know, funeke umnike alternative, a better alternative.
Where can they find us on all social media platforms?
You can find us at Qhakaza Mntase. That is Qhakaza, guys. Qhakaza Mntase on across all social media platforms.
And also you can find us on our TAF page, TAAF, on Facebook, and then TAF.EastCape on all other social media platforms. Guys, TAF's beneficiaries are dropping soon. Please be on the lookout. Ace has already dropped. Respect the name. Upenchi SA, Erso, and Liema are still about to drop. And also, we'd like to say thank you to our sponsors. Kalbiz.
Sophistic Furnitures, Evolve,
Pandam Zad,
X-Royal Studios,
Sulula Uluto Technologies, Captain Joe's, Smart Diva Accommodation, and Lucolo's Palace. With that said, I am CJ Odrinelana Umamzanga Okwalo Unutu Sobese.
And I am Nicole Coco Fisher.
And with that said, Qhakaza Mntase.
Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza.